Hey everyone, bit of a different video today. This won't be very educational, just a heads up, but this is something that needs to be addressed. There's basically the arena season is compromised again in Ark Nova. Like matches are being thrown, multiple accounts are being used, and believe me when I say it brings me no joy to make this kind of video, but it's something that has to be addressed before it gets out of control. It's already getting pretty ridiculous. We're just going to jump straight into it. This is a game between Bing and alphaboo. You'll know Bing as the last arena season champion. You'll also know Bing from the CN player games against Song Chen that decided season 4. You'll also know the same Bing that threw Azul matches to make Queen Dong win the Azul arena seasons multiple times. And just getting really sick of his behavior. This is like the 3rd or 4th account that he's on, and he's still doing the same crap. Hey, Harp Attack. So we're just going to jump straight into this game. On Observation Tower, projects are Predators, Species Diversity, and Asia. Bing has an amazing opening hand. Science Library. You can really go a ton of different directions, like Golden Eagle Penguin Pool is good. You keep Dingo for the Predator and Species. Probably that's what I'd lean towards. His end goals are even Conservation Zoo, Climbing Park. Conservation Zoo looks pretty good. These are 3 relatively easy projects to do. They all sort of work together. He does decide to keep those 4. And the opening display is a bit interesting. We have a Tarsier, which is fine. It's a different species for species diversity. I think Bing should be very interested in it. It gives him the reputation he needs for Penguin Pool. He's also first player, so he can grab Asia Partner Zoo, but just decides to start with Science Library. alphaboo does open with Australia Partner Zoo. And Bing, now in no rush to grab to use his worker, just does snap up the Tarsier. Hey Charles. alphaboo just draws from the deck. And I think pretty clear next couple of moves for Bing. Gonna take Asia Partner Zoo, build a size 2 next to the tower, play Tarsier. Maybe play Penguin Pool if he has time. alphaboo starts with a size 3, so probably expecting Koala, which is nice for species. Size 2. alphaboo does play animals first, which kind of tells us he doesn't have a sponsor that he wants to play, or he wants to cause the break straight afterwards. And it is Gould Monitor, so not the Koala. That probably suggests that he has reptile breeding program. Bing does play the Tarsier. I have no idea what joy this brings. alphaboo does cause the break. Break was on 8 out of 9, so he definitely does not have a sponsor to play. And he does have to discard 3 cards. Bit annoying. Display is looking really juicy. Guided School Tours, Technology Institute, even like cheap species tags. We're going to start with Penguin Pool. And the cool thing about the Tarsier opening is that it gives you the 2 rep, so you're flexible with being able to like start with the 2 rep university. alphaboo did have a sponsor. Well, we're not really judging alphaboo's gameplay here. I don't think alphaboo's in the wrong for this, but it does have the reptile breeding program as expected. It does take 2 size, which is very alphaboo playstyle. He loves not upgrading build. He's like the pioneer of it. Well, one of the pioneers of it. And if you're doing that, then 2 size is a fantastic first reward. Although there's a lot of arguments to be taken for snapping here when the display is so good. Bing does not have a project, but just does grab the university just to get an upgrade on 5 rep, which is build. That's a more normal playstyle, I would say. You can see like the annoying thing about not having build upgraded, you just like a random size 3 here. I guess we don't know what he has, but it does take the Ibex. With the display so good, there is expert on herbivores in the last card on 6, and he does snap that up just for the species tag. Alphaboo draws from deck. And Bing should have time to build and play animals here. Alphaboo probably wants to play animals with 2 empty enclosures, although he can cause the break right now. But he'd also have to discard cards, so he's more incentivized to play this round out. And yeah, really excellent play. Size 1 for the slow worm, which we're going to draw. Size 2 for the dingo. With expert and herbivores, we now have 4 species. Sorry, we now have 5 species. Like the race is done. That's 5 species locked up. Okay, Alphaboo also grabbed Worker at 2 conservation points, which is also very Alphaboo playstyle. So of course he wants to spend that as well. So Bing has quite a bit of time this round. Does grab Americas. That means Bing can start with the sponsor. Just get sponsor strength higher for the next round. Alphaboo plays Cougar, which is what the size 3 is for. And Raccoon. So, I mean, kind of fighting for species, but yeah, the race is over here. Does have 2 Predators now, and the America's partners we gave a nice discount on both. Does also get to boost Association up. Bing does play his 5 different species. I would say it's currently pretty even. What I also like about Bing's opening is that he has Partner Zoo and University, which means whichever one of these he gets a 5, he doesn't really care. Because he's split, he's going to get an upgrade either way. Whereas Alphaboo's a bit stuck here because he's kind of relying on getting this University because he can't take a Partner Zoo without Association upgraded. General strategy, Scott. Score as many points as fast as you can, but I don't think getting past 8 conservation changes anything about my strategy. Still working towards like getting as many projects done as you can, finding those high value animals and playing them. But I mean, it changes so much depending on what cards you have. Alphaboo does cause break here, which means Bing's going to open next round with species 5 and a free University. Alphaboo does build the 2 size touching double rock, so that's for the Ibex. We know there's geological here, so that could be a nice snap for Alphaboo. Sure, I mean, I pretty much always value CP at 3 appeal each, or 3 points each, because it's nearly guaranteed you're going to get past 10 anyway. So I don't really consider them worth... I mean, they are technically worth 2 before that, but it's not something that goes through my head. Only when calculating like endgame scores. First reward, he does take snapping. So I mean, the display is still looking really good. I could see a lot of arguments here. Chameleon is great for, yes, reptile breeding and also just another Asia tag. Geological is a good denial because we know that Alphaboo has the Ibex. There's still 2 great sponsors down here. Does upgrade cards, so that sort of answers these two, and then I expect to snap up either Geological or Chameleon. I mean, even Marabou with Penguin Pool and Aviary makes a lot of sense as well. There's just so many good options here. Alphaboo does his Predators too, and takes Snapping as well. Does take that Herbivore breeding program. So I mean, at least that's a nice way that he can get the Partner Zoo if he does... Well, he can't really support Herbivore breeding just yet. I'm actually a bit surprised he didn't take Geological. But anyway, after he plays Animals, he gets the 5th Reputation, and he can upgrade Association that way if he wants, to get a 3rd Partner Zoo. Bing takes up the 2 good sponsors and just draws 2 from the deck. Finds another bird, which is an Asia bird. So, I mean, we have 3 aviary birds here with Penguin Pool and Asia as a project. Like, there's also Chameleon on display. Display still pumping out good cards. Hydrologist, very nice. Archaeologist could be okay. Alphaboo builds another size 2. And just solid play again, building a 3 for the Marabou so he can play it and then build an Aviary later. Get to reuse that enclosure. You could definitely argue that he could build bigger knowing that it's going to be freed up anyway, but I still think it's fine. I don't mind like the extra Pavilion and Chaos build here. Alphaboo plays Animals, which is Wombat, so he can do Herbivore breeding program now. But he also chooses to upgrade cards, which is a little bit odd. I think it'd be very interesting in the Partner Zoo. My issue with this game is not that they're matched up together. I don't have a problem with... Not exactly true. I don't have a major issue with players matching up with each other, even though it is gaming the arena system. As long as they're both trying their best and playing competitively, it's fine. But you definitely can't say that about this game. Even though it looks like it so far, I think both players are playing very well so far. Like, it looks like Bing has a point lead right now, but... Sorry, it looks like Alphaboo has a point lead right now, but no sponsors. Bing has already 2 endgame... Sorry, already like 3 amazing sponsors. His hand is just stacked. Once he plays Guide to School Tours, it's another endgame point. Bing does his upgraded cards because he only has 1 card in hand, and he still has a worker, so he's happy to stay in this round a bit longer. Does take that Geological, so Alphaboo also has some projects lined up, Herbivore breeding and Geological. Bing is going to play the Marabou. Think would have been nice to maybe build a 1 size for the Chameleon. I think you should be very interested in it. And Scavenger's up a Rhino. So, pretty sure that's from Alphaboo's opening hand, because I don't remember seeing it on the display. I don't think Alphaboo would draw it mid-game and discard it. So, I mean, Rhino is just, wow. Alphaboo does grab University. We'll see. Bing's quite happy staying in the round because he just got a worker as well. Can grab Partner Zoo, has a sponsor to play. Decides to build 5, which I mean is a little bit odd, but fine. It allows him to drop the Chameleon, which is nice, before any break happens. He does move the Marabou. So I mean, now he has 5 Asia in hand. He has a Rhino in hand with habitat diversity basically nearly met, but also like 4 birds is the thing. He could just do birds for 4 with the Rhino project. alphaboo causes the break here, even with the worker. Oh no, sorry, Bing's the one that has the worker. But probably looking to deny that greater flamingo, because it is a bird, but also another Asia reptile shows up. It does deny the flamingo though. And snowy owl shows up, with which is another Asia bird. So now we have 5 Asia, 5 birds. Alphaboo is not even going to get this partner zoo on 5 at the moment, it looks like. Bing starts with guided school tours. Alphaboo does build a size 3 for the flamingo, we're guessing, but does drop Komodo dragon just to deny it, which would have been a good animal for Bing to play as well. But he does start with the chameleon. More Asia reptiles. Snaps up hydrologist just to have more sponsors to play, which is always handy on this map with the player sponsor for money. And just does start with the vulture. Hits pretty good stuff. Small animals is tempting, but the thing is, I don't think he needs any more projects to win the game. Because, like I was saying, he has 5 Asia, he has 5 birds. He's already, like, by the time you play those animals and do those projects, the game's over. So maybe Expert on Europe could help with the one size. That is what he decides to keep. I don't think it's wrong. Don't think small animals is necessary here. Alphaboo plays the stoat. Hunts the taipan, and I don't know, the taipan must have really terrified Bing here. I don't know how to explain what's about to happen, but I think he just realized the taipan was hunted and it's just game over. Bing does reptile breeding program, gets first to the 10 money, grabs another worker to do another project this round, and concedes. The reason for conceding? Well, BGA limitations, the game only just hit 50%, so this is the first time he could concede. But why? Complete winning position. What is Alphaboo supposed to do from here? Bing has an eagle, 5 Asia, 5 birds. He's got already ahead in endgames from sponsors. He has 2 more decent sponsors to play. Alphaboo has not even all his upgrades yet and 4 cards in hand. No projects on the horizon. I mean, like, he has geological herbivore breeding, but so? So this game happened yesterday, and yeah, I've been pretty upset since then. I mean, we can look at it. Yes, this was a real-time game. Both players just happened to match into each other, which I believe. Alphaboo said normally when he matches against his friends in Arena, they both agree to abandon, which I also believe because I see it in his match history quite often. But for some reason, Bing didn't want to abandon this game. I mean, we can see it here. I typed something after the game finished, and then Bing's reply was, "The card deal in this game today made me feel meaningless, and I think I've given up on this season's challenge." And if we go to the events leading up to this game, he did lose 2 games in a row in real time yesterday. But then he won another, he abandoned one, he won another, and then he played against Alphaboo in real time and just conceded at 50%. And then after that, he lost 3 more, which is fine to be tilted after that. But then he found the will to compete again, and he won every game since then. So something in this story is not adding up. He just doesn't want to play against his friend that's currently second in arena, but he's fine playing against everyone else and beating everyone else. What else do we have to look at? Alphaboo said, yeah, so after being said blah blah blah, Alphaboo said that, yeah, this is where he said that he always abandons Bing didn't want to. And I believe Alphaboo here. I think this was completely Bing's doing. I don't think Alphaboo wanted the free win. He says he was equally confused, and I believe it. But then we move on to the second game that we're going to look at today, and I don't know, things don't look great for Alphaboo here. I think we'll do a rundown of the Ark Nova hero account after this game, but incredibly suspicious account. It's a new account. They've played less than 30 games. They have the stats of like a top 5 player. They have very similar stats to Alphaboo, which we'll go over. And this is their game, and we're looking at this from Ark Nova Heroes' perspective. And it's like a really stacked opening hand, so if you're trying to make Alphaboo win this, good luck. So anyway, what do you keep in this stacked hand? We're on Commercial Harbor. Projects are Africa, Predators, Herbivores. End Goals Research Zoo sponsored zoo. Like, we have a Fur Seal and Australia release. We have Caracal, which is double project. We have a Rhino, which is double project. We have a Wombat, which is single project. We have Vet, which is decent. You might even start with universities here. We have Sumatra and Tiger, but I mean, everything in this hand is decent. Does start with the Wombat. It's fine, whatever. I have not invited them both to a game, but the problem with inviting Chinese players to games is that they use VPNs, so you'll never find an IP match. I mean, someone can try it now if they want, but I doubt it'll match. If it does, though, send me the link. I mean, don't send me the link. Opening display is not too exciting. We have jungle. We have a sea lion. Bit whatever. But Ark Nova Hero starts with Hand Size University. Fine pick. I think he'd be quite happy like doing cards, breaking 5, get the Fur Seal out next round. You can do whatever you want with this hand. Ark Nova Hero does draw from the deck. Hits a Raccoon, which is just another Predator. Not too interested in these two other cards, but the great thing about Commercial Harbor is you can just sell any useless cards you don't need. Alphaboo builds a size 2. Does take jungle. Taiwan players don't use VPNs. Let's be clear, I'm not sure this player is actually from Taiwan. Ark Nova Hero builds a size 2 as well. You can also play it like this. I guess you don't really want to... Like, discarding one card sucks. I think personally I would have built a 5 size and just got the Fur Seal up, but it's completely understandable to do this. It does draw up a Koala, which is equally amazing, and he can start selling cards now. Yeah, I agree. There are plenty of top players that aren't actually matching the country they say they're from. I think I'm the only one that is. Alphaboo starts with the Squirrel Monkey. We know he took jungle, so likely going to release that next round. Ark Nova Hero starts with the Wombat. Not sure if you pouch anything here. I mean, sure, you can pouch the Raccoon. Just get better tempo. You already have an amazing, like, next 3 animals to play anyway. Doesn't really matter. And Alphaboo plays Spokesperson. Ark Nova Hero is going to break 5 here and probably end the round with a cards action. Which will be pretty good timing. Like, After the cards action and association, build will be at 5 animals straight after, so everything's worked out pretty well for them. Alphaboo does build a size 3, and we just have cards to break here. Not too interested in either of these. I mean, Moose could be interesting with herbivores as a project. It does sell the monitor. Can hang on to the Moose for now. Maybe Alphaboo should be interested in Big Nose and Primatologist, but I think it's just better tempo to do the release here. It does actually start with Jumping Asia Monkey, the Langer. So I guess looking for a better release than the Squirrel Monkey. But now should be pretty interested in the Big Nose, I think. Ark Nova Hero just grabs Second University, and this is a great way to play First Seal. You just build a 5 size, you get your second upgrade with the reputation from animals. This is like ideal. But here we do have Jungle and Alphaboo into his classic 2 size reward. Is he also going to grab Worker? He gets 5 reputation and upgrades cards first when he has 0 cards in hand, which makes sense. And does take Worker at 2 CP again. Size 2 just draws from the deck. I mean, I think this would be a nice combo to get. I'm surprised he's not interested in it. And now the rigging gets even more difficult because our hero has just drawn into a random Sun Bear. This hand's still looking incredibly stacked. Sells the Moose now because, yeah, we have no interest in a Moose with this hand. Alphaboo drawing from the deck. Sells a card as well. Alphaboo is broke, so we'll want to break after this. You don't think the New Zealand First Seal is from New Zealand? Can't actually comment either way, I don't know. But it does get played here. And upgrades the Sos, which I think is fine. I'm not saying he manipulated the card draw, I'm saying this is an incredibly good hand, and if Alphaboo wants to be the one that wins this game, it's hard to make that happen in a natural way, because the card draw is too good. Our hero is the, I don't know, Alphaboo's like the protagonist. This is the one that you want to win because he's second in Arena at the moment. This is if you're looking at this from a like suspicious point of view. But Alphaboo does cause the break here, even though they both had a worker left. Yeah, stacked means good. Yeah, sorry. When I say stacked, I do just mean good. I don't mean like like you're rigging the cards in a specific order. That is my bad. But I mean, look at this draw again. Just does a random cards action at 4 and hits Eagle and Elephant. Not even sure you want to sell the Elephant here. You might even sell the Koala next. Alphaboo does start with Europe Partner Zoo. Our hero spends an X token to release the First Seal, which ×2 on sponsors could look very interesting for a short round. Does also take size 2 reward. Upgrade sponsors. I mean, ×2 on sponsors look incredible here because look at all these expensive animals you want to play, and you need money to do that. And now you're just suddenly getting 20 money from breaking plus 10 from the break. You have 50 money. This is like exactly how you should play this situation. I mean, I'm not going to spoil the ending of this game. Alphaboo's action is a single slow worm, which... that's the best thing he has to do before the break happens. That's pretty bad position for alphaboo to be in. We do have break 10. And I think, yeah, Ark Nova Hero is playing this perfectly right now. Like, there's no question about his gameplay at the moment. Both players have size 2 reward. Maybe interested in the rear here to play. Just draws from the deck and just hits a casual brown bear now. This is why I always draw from deck. It's actually comical how good these draws are. That's an interesting idea that June does. Matches only start on the hour. You join 5 minutes before, then they're drawn randomly from the player pool. I mean, I do like that. I don't think it's very practical for Ark Nova, though. I don't know. And it's not like BJ is ever going to change how they do things, so it's not worth, like, thinking about. Alphaboo does not want to build, does not want to X-back build, just trying to draw into something to know what to build, I guess. It does draw up the rear here. Ark Nova Hero builds a 3 size for the koala. Yeah, the awkward thing without upgraded build, which I will note Ark Nova Hero is not currently upgrading build either, is that it's hard to fit in those 5 sizes, but this is a well-placed 3 size, just denies research, and he's very happy to play koala as well. Like, you could play koala eagle now if you wanted to. Does sell research. BGA does act if you give them solid evidence, but what evidence can I give them here? I'll talk about it after. The people at BGA, like, there's not enough of them to go through reports, and they don't play Ark Nova, so they wouldn't know how to evaluate this situation and why it's so suspicious. You could patch the eagle with this hand. I agree. You could patch the eagle and still win. But the hero does grab Asia Partner Zoo. You do want to play the Sun Bear and eventually Elephant. Donates as well. Still enough money to play a ton of different combinations here. Alphaboo plays Breeding Cooperation. Hero does start with the Elephant, which is also fine, I guess. The good thing about playing the Elephant now is it does secure the Partner Zoo on 8, so I actually like that move a lot. And then for Partner Zoo, Australia makes sense with the koala. You could also justify Europe with 2 European animals. I don't think it matters too much, but also the croc and the lizard here, maybe Australia is just slightly better. And upgrades Kaz's final action. End goals, the elephant draws a bit whatever, but small animal could be okay. I mean, the end goals don't look very good here. Caracal is the next animal, which hunts an aviary bird, which is, I mean, not that interesting because we can't build an aviary here without upgraded build, but it is worth keeping anyway. I mean, sorry, it's worth keeping to sell. Alphaboo X's back build. Alphaboo has a 2 size, a 2 size, and a 3 size. Our hero does cards, just draws all from the deck, hits a low mountain range, which is why you should sometimes wait to sell cards, but I mean, you can still release the eagle, which is very nice. Hits Water Playground, which is okay. Ornithologist could be okay. I mean, it's still... neither players have a ton of income right now. Doesn't sell anything, though. Alphaboo plays the rear. I mean, Arena... Ark Nova Arena is always going to hold some prestige because of Victory Column. Like, I would love to get my face on Victory Column, but I'm not going to cheat to do it. It does play New Zealand Sea Lion. It does match Predators, but not ideal as your first Predator with the pack action. And he does have 2 Predators now with Breeding Corporation. He might just be going for that. Anyway, I mean, points are kind of even, but we know from Ark Nova Hero's hand that he's just, I would say, ridiculously far ahead right now. Plays Export on Asia from display, which sure, why not? It gives an instant 5 points, plus there's going to be a Sun Bear coming up later. Alphaboo does a cards action. Kind of awkward. Ark Nova Hero doesn't have a project to do here. Can't do 2 Predators, can't do Herbivores, can't do 2 Africa. Doesn't have a Primate to release. Doesn't have a Bird Plate to release just yet. So he does grab 3rd University here, which I hate as a move, but I hate it as a move because you always just get a free University as like your final action, unless your opponent does it before you in the final turn, but whatever. Does donate. Guess you're really looking to get players to discard there. And it's nice for Research Zoo, so sponsored Zoo goes here. Alphaboo does Predators and takes 5 money instead of snapping, but obviously just feels very broke at the moment. It does play a sponsor for money from 5 CP, and it is Expert on Americas. That will help with the income a little bit. Ark Nova Hero just does sponsors at 2. Association hasn't moved down yet because of the replay bug, but there was no X token spent here. So just a natural water playground. Alphaboo builds a 2 size. Ark Nova Hero does a random cards action at 3 because he doesn't have anything else to do. It's an emu, which I mean could be interesting. I mean, maybe it is just interesting. At the same time, do you really need it? I mean, like, you play emu, it builds an aviary for the eagle. It is playable, by the way. You can release the emu and get the 5 size back to play the brown bear. I could see that as a play happening. But also, you don't really want to sell anything else in this hand, so I could see the emu just being discarded. I mean, so far in this game, it's very fair play. I think, again, like the previous game, both players are playing to the best of their abilities. Ark Nova here even sold a card, just has to discard 1 here. Emu does go, which is still the right decision. Alpha builds a size 2 over the reputation. We see Ark Nova Hero do the same thing. Could have considered, well, actually no. He wants to build a 5 size here. I mean, you can build a 5 size up here as well. I was thinking to get the Clever down on build, but you actually do want to build here. But not a lot of money left. Would like a short round if possible, I guess. Exactly. You guys can feel my frustration like every time I play Arena, how difficult it is. Builds a 5 size to Clever down animals. Does he have a project to do yet? No project, but I mean, he can still grab like 3rd Partner Zoo 2 reputation. It's not that bad. Alphaboo plays the Mamba from display. and the hippo, which I think kind of helps Ark Nova Hero here by breaking 2. I mean, Ark Nova Hero wants to get out of this round like as fast as possible. That's what we're investigating right now, so Zach. The question is, are these two the same people or not? And that's the big question we don't know. Ark Nova Hero breaks 4, which is an odd move at like face value, but it would be to have just enough money to play the eagle and then release it. So I think it's pretty justified here. It's actually not that bad at all. alphaboo does play reptile breeding program. And does finally get his second university thanks to the university CP reward. And I don't know, for the first time it kind of looks like alphaboo might be a bit ahead. But here we do have the eagle into release. Not sure what reward you take here as Ark Nova Hero, maybe snapping or 5 money. Snapping maybe because Gorilla Field Research just showed up. It's a pretty good card. Does release from the correct enclosure, so now the brown bear is playable. Like, this is a scary turn coming up. Sun bear, brown bear. You don't even have to wait until the final round to do this combo, because in the final round you have ×2 on association anyway. Does snap up Gorilla Field Research. alphaboo really wants to play a sponsor right now, which is Explorer. Kind of interesting he spent 2x tokens to do it. He could have just done it during the break with a size 2 here. So, could mean that he has more sponsors that he wants to play, I guess. Could also mean he's about to play animals on 3. Ark Nova Hero does cause the break here. Not much choice with 0 money and Venom on build. You could be very tempted to put the size 2 on the player sponsor for money, but I think it just makes sense to work towards the ×2 here. Keep in mind we're also getting a pavilion from Sun Bear when that's played. Does snap up Expert in Predators, which is an interesting snap. Archaeologist is not completely useless, but kind of useless for Ark Nova Hero. It gives a science tag for the endgame, but there's no border spots. For alphaboo, it could be a bit interesting with 1 border space left here for a ×2. But there's also a porcupine, which is just straight up herbivore number 4 for Ark Nova Hero, so I mean, it's a bit odd. But this is predator number 4. Doesn't have a path to 5 predators yet. alphaboo does build the size 2 over player sponsor and plays Migration Recording. Gets 2x tokens from that, 1 from 12 reputation thanks to spokesperson, 1 from the card itself. And does open the round with just doing cards at 5. Takes away Export on Australia and everything else from the deck. Ark Nova Hero replies with doing cards. I would be very interested in this porcupine if I was him. But drawing from the deck always pays off because he does hit his 5th predator, and it's a good one. This you want to play as your 5th predator for pack. It packs a punch. The problem is enclosure space. We have to build a 4 for it. Money is still an issue. alphaboo spends 2x's here to do Africa 4. The rush is snapping he just took. Wants to snap up the porcupine now. Ark Nova Hero not interested in building the 4 size for the wolf, just X's back build here. He needs to play that, right? 1, 2... No, sorry. Yeah, he needs to play the wolf for the 5th predator. I mean, I think I'd always build a 4 size there, but... Still not going to be overly critical. Still in a good position, I'd say, even though it looks like alphaboo's ahead right now. Alphaboo does have better sponsors, just played Science Library. He's going to hit endgames for Breeding Cooperation. Has Explorer down, Migration down. And does get a Sea Cave, which he can release with. So Alphaboo has projects for days. Just starting off with Expert in Predators, so now has enough money to play Sun Bear and Brown Bear. What projects can we do? None? Alphaboo is currently 2nd in Arena. I'm not going to say it's cheating just yet. Draws randomly from the deck after hitting 10 Reputation. Engineer's pretty useless here, but does start with Sun Bear. Sun Bear over the player sponsor for money. Can get down Guerrilla Field Research here. Sells Engineer to play Brown Bear now. So how quickly is this game ending? It's a bit awkward because he really wants the 4 size for the wolf. And what do you do with association here? Just Partner Zoo 2 rep and... Oh, right. Does get Africa Partner Zoo to do 2 Africa. My mistake. I mean, it's fine. Takes 12 money. 12 money is a good amount so we can build the enclosure for the wolf and then get out of the round. Does donate, but can still afford it if he sells free range monkeys, which is a dead card here. And there's a 30-point lead. Alphaboo is nowhere near close to his ×2. He does not have build upgraded, so it's not as simple as going 1, 2, you're there. He only has 2 empty size 2 enclosures, but he has 60 money and build on 1. So it's a big question as to how Alphaboo is going to spend all his money right now. Does have a project to do. Savannah gives him a 3 size back at least. That's good. And with Migration recording, that does get a lot of the point lead back. Well, some of it back. Still a 20-point lead. Also keep in mind, even though Alphaboo does have some sponsors played that give endgame points, 2 of them, well, 1 of them's after the Sea Lion just got released, Ark Nova Hero still has 2 endgames from the Elephant versus 1. Here we have the 4 size for Wolf, and this is a great last animals action. Koala Wolf into like Predators 5 and question mark, like Wolf release as well. You have Koala Wolf into Predators 5 and Wolf release as a final action. Can you play both without crossing? Wolf gives 9. I guess you can't, so maybe you have to find a second animal instead of Koala. Yeah, it's a fantastic project for Ark Nova Hero. It's got all the enclosures ready to go. Alphaboo's playing Frilled Lizard and Lesser Flamingo. Probably 2 of the better, like 2 size animals you could get in terms of points. Still nowhere near this ×2. I mean, the point gap has closed up, but Ark Nova Hero ends the game in 2 moves after the break here. Could even be 1 move, just play Koala Wolf and just whatever. Like, Alphaboo has no determination animal. He's not getting a ×2. You could even ×2 animals here, although there's nothing else to play. Does get a ×2 on association, which we expected. And alphaboo has a really nice move here. Does snap up the constrictor. Builds the size 2 over the clever ability, clevers down cards, and just instantly breaks 9. Which gets rid of Ark Nova Hero's ×2. So, I mean, a bit annoying. Ark Nova Hero can still end in one move, but maybe it's not as clear-cut as it was before. Although this does give Ark Nova Hero a chance to find a better, well, a different animal than the koala that doesn't cross. And you can still do Predators 5, which is better than any project alphaboo has coming up. Alphaboo snaps up Aquatic for 3. And still not getting this ×2. Snaps up Geological, whatever, just denial, I guess. Spends the X to play animals. We do have the wolf, which is needed. Yeah, could be an extra card for Koala to pouch, but it does play the Ibex, which just gets him to 97 without crossing. So obviously interested in doing Savannah as last action. And this is where the game was abandoned. Alphaboo has Bird of Paradise in hand. You know, maybe that's enough for Alphaboo to win. It would be nice if we had them play out the game to see the end result. I mean, Ark Nova Hero has Donation plus 5 Predators. That's a pretty good ending, plus still only 3 CP from endgames is not great. Alphaboo does not have Science Library though, does only going to hit Breeding Program at this stage. If played out, Ark Nova Hero wins by about 15. Yeah. Plus 4th partners, yeah, exactly. That's the good question. Why bother going this far if you're just going to abandon the game right before the ending? Like, abandon the game halfway through and it's a lot less suspicious. That's what I can't explain. Maybe they were just hoping Alphaboo would get into a winning position. I have no idea. I really can't sort of figure out what the mindset is happening right now. Why go to all this trouble to play a friend or play a second account? So we can do some investigating on who Ark Nova Hero is, what's their deal. I will say the players did not agree to abandon this game. What actually happened is Ark Nova Hero magically ran out of time, did not confirm that final move, and just went over time. He's played like fine. This was a fast-paced game, played fine the whole game, and last turn magically disappeared. Yeah, some context. One of our friends, one of the Emu Cup participants, D-Man, he was spectating this game live, so he saw that that Ark Nova Hero went overtime in real time. He did type in the chat that this was like disgusting, and Alphaboo pretended to be concerned. He wrote like, "Hey, are you still there?" a couple of times, and then just agreed to abandon. I guess he didn't kick Ark Nova Hero because then it would have been even more suspicious. And abandoning the game hides it for the most part. Like, it doesn't show up in your game history on your profile. People can't comment on the game. So it's a better way of hiding a game like this. But look at Ark Nova Hero statistics here. Averages under 30 turns. If you match that up with any top 20 player, this is just better. This is better than Dwarven Times stats for number of turns. It's a small sample size, but clearly shows they can play. I mean, there's no way that Ark Nova Hero is leaving this game because he thought it was over. He didn't cross 100 points. So that doesn't check out. But the most interesting part is the upgraded card statistics, upgraded action statistics. They are incredibly similar to alphaboo himself, like eerily similar. There are not many players that have upgrade rates like this. Upgraded action cards rate 3.13 per game, that's pretty low. Animals nearly 100% of the time, normal. Build 67% is a bit abnormal, it's quite low. Cards 80%, sponsors 33, assos 33. And if we look at alphaboo stats, animals 99, build 58, build's a bit lower. Cards 86, sponsors 39, assos 35. Upgraded actions 3.17. They're like, it's a very unique playstyle that he has, and it's just weird that a newly created account that matches up against him in Arena would have nearly identical stats. If we look at Ark Nova Hero's game history, has no problem beating other top players, but for some reason, in only 28 games, has matched up with alphaboo 5 times and lost all 5, or at least not won any. That includes the most recent abandoned game, but before that, concede, played it out, loss, kicked out, loss, played it out, loss, and then the abandoned game. They haven't been online in 6 days, so these games happened like... You can see it happened actually about 11 days ago. It was directly after this game. So for more context, D-Man, the player who was spectating the game, just played a game against Ark Nova Hero before the game against alphaboo. And Ark Nova Hero asked to abandon the game as soon as they joined, which he obviously declined. And then as soon as the game hit 50%, Ark Nova Hero was out of there, just conceded. Then you have the abandoned game against alphaboo, and then 6 days ago logged in and just casually stomped another, well, not top player, but 400 rated player, just stomped them. I mean, you have some good, wins against good opponents here, like Master Assassin badge in under 30 games. Yeah, newly created account, barely logs in, like all the hallmarks of a second account. Well, BGA does have a no Smurf account policy. You're not allowed to have multiple accounts. But the problem is they don't actively go out and hunt them down. It's up to players to report them. So, I mean, I'm going to report this. The problem is BGA is understaffed. Like, when I gave them a clear case of the guy that has like 80 different accounts in a different game, it took them 2 months to do something about it. Former name's a bit whatever, like just a random name when they created, then they changed it to Ark Nova Hero. I don't think it's that suspicious, but I mean, it's a bit weird that they're a premium account. So the question is alphaboo a premium account? I would assume so. But the interesting thing is, if alphaboo was not a premium account, then they could not be matched up against each other. Funny that. Because 2 standard accounts can never meet in Arena. Because you need someone premium to host the game. So, I mean, it's kind of convenient. So the question we're asking ourselves is this actually alphaboo, or is this just a fan that's trying to snipe him and lose to him on purpose? Well, Zach, you better not tell me about them, because I'm on... Anyone that has multiple accounts right now and is playing in Arena with them, not on. But I don't think we have too much more else to look at. I mean, we can look at the current Arena standings. So even despite this effort, Like alphaboo getting some free wins. He's in second place at the moment. Not likely to catch up to Dwarven time, but I'm just imagining worlds where I don't highlight this and suddenly he creeps up to 2100 from free wins all of a sudden. So, like, even though it looks like the season's not compromised right now, people are still fighting for spots in the top 10. I want to finish top 10. I don't want someone cheating to finish ahead of me. That's ridiculous. It's just really upsetting. There's no point in playing Arena if people can just freely cheat at the top. Just ruins the competitive integrity. And there's no point me spending time playing or learning the game if there's no like reward for my effort. Anyway, that's, yeah, not very educational today, but I think it had to be addressed. And I'll be reporting it. Hopefully the accounts get removed. Yeah, thanks for watching and see you guys on Sunday for the BGA stream. Have a good one.